Take a slow breath with me for a moment. If you're watching this, there's a good chance you've been trying to lose belly fat, maybe for years. You might be eating less, exercising more, doing what you're supposed to do, and yet that deep, stubborn belly fat just doesn't move. And quietly in the back of your mind, there's a concern you may not say out loud. Is this hurting my health? That concern is valid, and I want you to know you're not alone, and you're not failing. There is a reason this fat behaves differently. And today I want to explain it to you calmly, honestly, and clearly the same way I would if you were sitting across from me in my clinic. Let me start with something important. The most dangerous fat in your body is not the fat you can pinch. It's the fat you can't see. The fat wrapped around your organs, your liver, pancreas, intestines. We call this visceral fat. And here's the part that surprises most people. Visceral fat doesn't respond well to aggressive dieting, extreme workouts, or punishment-style health routines. In fact, those approaches often make it worse. This is where the Japanese approach becomes very interesting and very different. In Japan, doctors don't focus on losing weight fast the way the rest of the world does. They focus on reducing visceral fat first because they understand something fundamental. When visceral fat goes down, health improves first, and body shape follows naturally, not the other way around. Now, before we go any further, I want to be very clear and reassure you, this is not about starvation. This is not about extreme exercise. And it's not about perfection. The Japanese method works because it works with your biology, not against it. Let's talk about what visceral fat actually is in simple terms. Visceral fat is metabolically active. That means it's constantly releasing inflammatory chemicals into your bloodstream. These chemicals interfere with insulin, raise cortisol, increase blood pressure, and quietly strain your heart and liver. This is why someone can look not that overweight and still develop diabetes or heart disease. It's not about size, it's about location. Now here's the hopeful part, and I want you to really hear this. Visceral fat is also the first fat your body is willing to let go of if you create the right internal environment. That's where the Japanese way shines. In Japan, doctors use waist circumference as a primary health marker, not weight, not BMI alone, because waist size closely reflects visceral fat. And when waist size starts to shrink, we know the body is healing internally. So how do they do it? First, they calm the nervous system. This step is often ignored in Western health advice, but it's critical. Chronic stress tells your body that it's not safe. And when your body doesn't feel safe, it stores visceral fat as protection. This is biology, not weakness. Japanese daily life includes built-in stress regulation, slower meals, more walking, less late-night eating, a cultural respect for rest and rhythm. Even something as simple as finishing dinner earlier allows insulin levels to come down overnight, and insulin is a key driver of visceral fat storage. If you eat late every night, especially refined carbohydrates or sugar, your insulin stays elevated while you sleep. That signals your body to store fat around the organs. When Japanese doctors recommend earlier dinners, they're not being strict, they're being strategic. Another powerful difference is how they eat, not just what they eat. Meals are smaller but deeply satisfying. Protein, fiber, and healthy fats are balanced naturally. There's very little ultra-processed food, and importantly, meals are eaten until comfortably satisfied, not overly full. That gentle stopping point allows satiety hormones like leptin to function properly. When leptin works, your brain knows you've had enough. When leptin is ignored through overeating or stress, visceral fat accumulates quietly. Now let's talk about movement, because this is where many people feel discouraged. The Japanese approach does not emphasize intense workouts for fat loss. In fact, excessive high-intensity exercise can raise cortisol, and cortisol directly increases visceral fat storage. Instead, they prioritize daily movement, walking after meals, light strength work, gentle posture-based exercises that activate deep abdominal muscles. These movements improve insulin sensitivity and circulation around the organs, and that signals to the body that it's safe to release stored fat. There's a reason why many Japanese adults stay metabolically healthy well into older age. It's consistency, not intensity. Another key factor is gut health. Traditional Japanese foods, fermented vegetables, miso, seaweed, nourish beneficial gut bacteria, and this matters more than you might think. Certain gut bacteria are directly associated with lower visceral fat levels. When the gut microbiome is balanced, inflammation drops, and when inflammation drops, visceral fat becomes metabolically unnecessary. Now, let me pause here because this is an important truth. Visceral fat is not a moral failure. It is a signal that your body has been under strain, physical, emotional, or metabolic for a long time. And when we respond to that signal with gentleness and structure, the body responds quickly. One of the most overlooked Japanese principles is eating slowly. When you eat slowly, digestion improves, insulin spikes are lower, and stress hormones remain stable. Even chewing thoroughly changes hormonal signaling. This is not folklore, it's physiology. Let's talk about sleep for a moment. In Japan, sleep is respected as medical therapy. Short sleep duration is strongly associated with increased visceral fat. When you sleep less than 6 hours regularly, cortisol rises, insulin sensitivity drops, and hunger hormones increase. That combination specifically targets fat storage around the organs. If you do nothing else, improving sleep alone can reduce visceral fat significantly over time. Hydration also plays a role. Many people confuse thirst with hunger. Japanese culture emphasizes warm fluids, especially in the morning. Warm water gently activates digestion and liver function. The liver plays a major role in fat metabolism, particularly visceral fat. Now, I want to address supplements briefly because I know many of you are curious. Japanese doctors do not rely heavily on supplements for fat loss. They focus on food timing, movement, and stress first. However, certain nutrients like green tea catechins, omega 3s from fish, and magnesium from whole foods naturally support visceral fat reduction. Green tea, in particular, has been studied extensively in Japan. It improves fat oxidation and reduces abdominal fat when consumed regularly, not excessively, just consistently. But let me be very clear and honest with you. There is no pill that replaces lifestyle alignment. Anyone telling you otherwise is selling hope, not health. The Japanese way works because it removes the fight. When you stop fighting your body stops fighting you. I've seen this clinically. Patients who shift from punishment based health routines to supportive ones often see visceral fat decrease within weeks, sometimes before the scale moves at all. Their waistline softens, blood sugar improves, energy stabilizes, and they feel calmer. That calm matters because when your nervous system is calm, your metabolism works properly. Now, I want to speak directly to you for a moment as a doctor and as a human being. If you've been blaming yourself for not losing belly fat fast enough, please stop. Your body has been protecting you the best way it knows how. Our job is to teach it that it's safe to let go. The Japanese approach teaches safety through routine, regular meals, regular movement, regular sleep, regular calm. And yes, visceral fat can reduce faster than other types of fat when these signals align, not overnight, but steadily, reliably, safely. If you're wondering how fast really is, clinically, meaningful reductions in visceral fat can begin in as little as 2 to 4 weeks when insulin sensitivity improves and inflammation drops. Visible changes follow after internal healing begins. That's why the Japanese focus inward first. I want to leave you with something important. Health is not loud. It doesn't scream. It whispers. And visceral fat is one of those whispers asking for balance, not force. If you approach this with patience, consistency, and kindness toward your body, it will respond. I've seen it hundreds of times. Take this one step at a time. Earlier dinners, slower meals, gentle daily movement, better sleep, less stress, not perfection, just direction. You don't need to punish your body to change it. You need to understand it. And I'm here to help guide you through that calmly, safely, and honestly. Take care of yourself. You deserve health that feels peaceful, not exhausting.